Hi guys, my name is Dwani Oza and I'm doing a podcast today with Keith Connell, professor of digital content creation and also a course coordinator. This podcast we are doing is for Dwani Creates YouTube channel. So I hope you guys like it and I hope you guys subscribe it as soon as possible. Also, we are doing this at Larche studio at Georgian College. So huge shout out to them. Thank you so much. Keith, when and how you started this journey of yours?
My journey?
Yes.
Okay, it depends on how far back you want to go.
So I would like to know your teaching journey and the podcast you are doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would love to know that.
Okay, so my journey starts way back when I was 16.
Okay.
I was one of the stereotypical students who I'll say didn't give a damn in class. I was a little rebellious, where teachers would ask me to do stuff, I wouldn't do it. And finally, out of a complete exasperation, one of my teachers looked at me and said, in front of the entire class, you were going to be nothing but a garbage man. Now, back then, that was an insult. And it was like, oh my gosh, no. And it really hit me. And then what happened was I started to study. And at the end of the semester, I walked up, slammed my report card down and went, see, I'm going to be more than a garbage man. He looked me right in the eyes and he said, I knew that all along. And my 16-year-old self, as arrogant as I was back then, my jaw dropped. And I went, he played me. And at that point, I wanted to teach. I felt that if I could reach one student academically the way he reached me, what a career. Yeah. And so I went to college or university. I got my degree in, believe it or not, Shakespearean literature and Canadian poetry. Not a whole lot you could do with those, but I was trying to be an English teacher at high school. And i.e. the teacher that reached me was my English teacher.
Okay.
And that kind of fell through because it was really competitive field back then. And I moved into marketing and I developed this passion for brand, this passion for communication. My personal slogan is design, create, communicate, as well as dare to color outside the lines. So I developed this passion, and all the while I'm looking at different ways that I can enhance my brand. And podcasting was one that was natural because I've always been very, very comfortable in front of a microphone. I, like you, am an introvert. And I know people look and go, what? No, you're not. And I am actually. I would rather be sitting at home quietly than going out to a party. It's just not my style. So in 2015, and this is a story that is actually something that warms my heart. And this is for all you Canadian fans out there. But there's a rock band called Rush.
Okay.
And if you ever get a chance, listen to Rush. Okay. It will change your brain. But anyhow, I was watching a documentary, and Neil Peart, who's the drummer, was considered in the top 2 or 3 drummers of rock history. Okay. The guy was incredible. And at the height of his career, he went, I want to learn how to drum all over again. So he turned to not Kelly Gruber, that's a baseball player, Freddie Gruber, and he basically said, teach me how to drum. So he learned how to drum all over again. Okay. And as I'm watching this video, I'm going, that's me. I'm at the height of my marketing career. I've been a marketing manager, a brand manager, an ambassador, etc., for about, at that point, 25 years. Okay. And I'm thinking, maybe I should go back to school. So I went back to Georgian to get an advertising marketing communication diploma. And at the time, I started that, and I kind of got bored quickly, so I took a second diploma as well at the same time. But then, as I graduated from that program, I was hired as a professor. And then from there, it moved on, and the podcasting was just natural for me because at that point, this is a natural communication mode for me. I love this environment. I've had several podcasts.
Yeah.
And I am going to be launching a new one. Ironically, this is kind of why we're talking, because it's going to be about international students and their level of, my PhD study, my field of study is going to be in how international students' first year of experience impacts their desire to persist in college. So that's going to be part of my podcast going forward. So it's kind of a long, winding road, but it's got me to where I'm truly happiest in my career.
Yeah. To be very honest, talking with you from the first day of semester till here, the podcast, like the love for podcast for me has been through you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I have listened to you in class and everywhere. You talked about podcast a lot. And from the very first day I have heard you talking about that, I know that I have to do this. I know I can do that. Because talking to one person, I can do that very well. Making communication or making conversation with one person continuously, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do camera work, I can do recording, I can do that stuff. But yeah, thanks to you, I am into podcasts now.
Oh, well, thank you.
And this is the first podcast I'm doing with Keith, and this is going on my YouTube, Keith.
Excellent.
So
what is your podcast title?
So this will be like, I'm still thinking, but yeah, I'm planning to do like international student talks or something. But right now my YouTube name is Dhwani Creates. But what I'm planning to do in that is, this is the first video we are talking about everything. And I'm mostly planning to do a lot of mental health stuff.
Excellent.
So I want to make sure that people come out to talk about that, because nobody talks about that much.
No.
So yeah, I'm planning to do that. Also, yeah. So about that, so you like had time to, okay. You studied as digital content creation, and you had a course like website designing and media project management. So as just our class, how do you like talking to some international students and half of the class are domestic? So how did you like that?
It was interesting.
Yeah.
And as a professor, I want to say that this year's cohort was a cohort that I connected with, like, I'm going to say like no other. And I'm going to tell a little bit of a story that to this day, as you were there for the one event where I was in tears talking about it, because it meant so much to me.
Yeah.
Where online, you have a group of students who generally don't communicate when we're online, because it's either typing out or just listening or vacuuming or dust, whatever. And I recognize that.
Yeah.
But, what happened was, one day I started my class and I was recording, and it was great. And I was asking questions, no one answered, which is par for the course online. So I carried on, and I started to talk about this file on my Google Drive. And so I went to it, and I saw a student there clicking around and typing. I'm like, oh, cool. All right. And so they're using it right now. That's great. And about 55 minutes into the class, all the students started going, Keith, are you okay? But I didn't see anything. All I saw was the frames of you, because fortunately I had my one computer here, and I had my monitor computer over here, so I could see everyone talking.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear anything. So that's weird. So I typed in the response, and I went, what's going on? And I learned that the students were genuinely concerned for my safety.
Yeah.
And that, to this day, will stay as the epitome of my career.
Yeah.
Because at that point, not a single student left.
No.
Everyone stayed. And so I think for me, that was the point where I connected with the group as a whole.
Yeah.
Or at least for me, it was in my heart. And now, going back to your question, it's sometimes difficult, because I recognize that when we're dealing with international students, and we had some students from Colombia, we had some students from India, etc. So globally, we have different pockets of educational systems. In India, for example, some of your systems, as I know, are Confucian-based model, where some are Socratic-based. And what I mean by that is Confucian-based is you do not ask the professor questions, you do not talk in class, because that's not what it's there for. The prof is there as the holder of all knowledge. And in Socratic, it's more, wait, yeah, I don't agree with that point. You're going to change that, and arguing and discussing it. So those that come from the Socratic educational model, such as Western cultures or some parts of India, very comfortable talking in class, going, no, I don't agree with that. And then the Confucian-based education systems, the students are very quiet. So it's a struggle because I want to know what you guys are saying, or not saying, but what you're thinking. Yeah. And it's difficult for the student because they're going, I've not been trained on this. I'm not allowed to do this. So recognizing that, I found that the best way to handle it was one-on-one communication, breaking off into little bits and pieces so that we can talk to maybe 2 or 3 of you. Yeah. But I was always cognizant when I was doing this to try to either sit or kneel so that we're eye level. So there's no hierarchy in the classroom. Yeah. So that was just one of my strategies. Yeah.
So what one advice would you give to our graduating class that are done with our courses but are going through our career growths now? So
you're done now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, me too.
So congratulations on that. Never lose your passion, because your passion is going to be what sets you apart from others.
Yes.
Those that have no real interest in what they're doing, no passion, they're going to do it, but it's all going to be kind of second rate. Those that are passionate are the ones that are spending 20 minutes going, oh, you know what, that camera's grainy. You got to bump up the lights, and trying to figure it all out to make it just perfect. That level of, I'm not going to say perfection, you don't always have to achieve perfection, but that level of attention to detail is what's going to set you apart from everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's what builds your reputation. Because if you truly, and this is my biggest piece of advice I can give to you guys, is if you truly enjoy what you do, you will never work a day in your life.
Yes.
So that's my advice.
Thank you so much, Keith, for taking your time and talking with me. I'm very grateful for you doing this with me, to be very honest. And I know last time when we had this podcast, we were not able to record it properly. The voice was not good. And you made sure that we do this one. And on the last day of our college, I emailed you and you responded very quickly. So I'm actually, I have no words that how much grateful I am to you. The podcast, the idea, everything, it's just because of you, to be very honest.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, thank you so much, Keith, for taking your time and doing this with me.
Totally my pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah.
This podcast was recorded at Georgian College's Larche Family Studios in the Peter Moore Building, N304. We want to take this chance to thank the manager of the facility, Dwight Leahy, for your generous time donation and basically letting us use this studio. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dwight. Thank you so much. Thank you, Keith.
Okay. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button.
Thank you.
No problem.
And